الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وإخوانه وحزبه أجمعين. It is a great honor and a favor from Allah Ta'ala to be standing here at this house of Allah Ta'ala, the masjid, at this great event of the 7th annual NAFIS East or Northeast Conference, whose theme is Guide to God. We got the barakah of Allah Ta'ala to descend upon us. We want to remember all the prophets, all the messengers, all the companions, men and women, all the scholars, the ulama, the fuqaha, all the mujahideen and the mujahidat. Yes, we can say mujahideen and mujahidat in the US. It's okay to say it. It's okay. Don't be scared. All the great people of Islam who have been given their lives and everything for the sake of this da'wah, the theme of this conference, to continue. Anytime we remember them and we talk about them and we learn from them, there is rahmah, there is mercy, there is barakah, there is blessing, there is sakina, tranquility that descends. There's the malaika, the angels that surround the majlis. Because these are the best of people. And we want to be the best of people. And the only way we can be the best of people, we have to follow the best of the people. And we know and learn what those best of people did. And that is guide to God. Da'wah ilallah. And I want to start with a question. When someone asks you a question, you pay attention. Anyone. What about Allah Ta'ala asking you a question? How much attention should you pay? The verse, which is the theme of the conference, is a question. Not from me, not from anyone. It's a question from your Lord to you and to me. And so we want to pay a lot of attention to this question. And believe and think that that question is not addressed to someone else. It's not addressed to the Imam of the masjid, or to the scholars of Islam, or to the Shaykh so and so. It's addressed to you as a servant of Allah Ta'ala, as a person who has been blessed about being a Muslim. It's a great blessing to be a Muslim. As a person who Allah Ta'ala has opened his or her heart to accept Islam and to live by Islam and to be attached to Islam. And that question, Allah Ta'ala says, who's better? This is Allah asking you this question. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا. Anyone? Is there anyone better in speech than the one who calls? وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ. One who calls people to Allah. Who asks people to come and turn to Allah. Who helps people to bond with their Lord. To repent. To have their hearts attached to the one who has created them. And the answer is obvious. But the important part is not the answer that is obvious. The important part and the key part is how to be most successful in da'wah. In guiding people to God. And when we say guiding people to God, who are these people we're talking about? The first people we're talking about is myself. Is yourself. How is your da'wah to yourself? How is your guidance to yourself? How is it? How is your guidance of yourself to your Lord? How is that? And what form of guidance are we talking about? Are we just talking about talking, giving speech? That's great. So if we first focus on guiding myself to my Lord, that's a great start, and that's the first right step. And it's very simple to talk, but it's more important to prove it. As a father, how is your behavior with your children? That's a form of da'wah, because you're displaying and showing the greatness of a Muslim father to his sons. That is a da'wah. Because when someone sees you and looks at your behavior as a father towards your children, and it's so great, a behavior of kindness, of leniency, of mercy, of patience. I really want to be like this father. If Islam teaches this father to be so kind to his children, I want to be a Muslim. That's the most powerful of da'wah. As a mother, the same thing. How is your behavior with your children? Do you give them the attention they need, the care they need, the time they need, the mercy, the love they need? As a husband, how is your behavior with your wife? How mercy are you? How lenient? How soft? How patient? خيركم خيركم لأهلي. The best amongst you are those who are best to their spouse, to their wife. That's a form of guidance of yourself towards Allah, because if you behave in such a great way, you are attached to Allah Ta'ala. You are guiding yourself to Allah Ta'ala. Allah is happy with you. You are attached to Allah Ta'ala. And you are displaying and showing the best example of Islam. And that's the most powerful, most successful way of da'wah. And same thing applies to the wife. How is your character? How is your behavior towards your husband? Do you take care of him? Do you respect him? Do you advise him? And same applies as a child. How is your behavior with your parents, whether alive or dead? You can still honor them and service them and make them satisfied and happy by being the most righteous person. That's another successful way of guiding yourself towards Allah Ta'ala, attaching yourself with Allah Ta'ala and bonding yourself with Allah Ta'ala. As a student, are you successful in your school? Or you're just talking about Islam and saying Islam is great, but then you're not. You're getting F's and D's. You're not successful as a student. That's not a good way of da'wah. There's people say, oh, this student is so successful in his or her studies, so active in the school and participating in community service and serving in committees and making a positive change in that university or college or high school and making a difference in society. That's because Islam teaches him or her to be so. What a great religion. I really want to be like this student. I want to join this religion and be part of it. That religion that teaches these people to be so helpful to other people. If you're a member of a society, a citizen, how much of a difference you're making in society. Or I'm so busy with myself, with my job, with my family. I don't want to be selfish. That's not how the Prophet Muhammad was. That's not how his companions were when they migrated from Mecca to Medina. They embraced that land of Medina. They really felt that land is theirs. This is our land. And we have to feel it in our hearts. It's our land. And we need to feel it and service this land. And we're not foreigners to this land. Whether we were born here or not born here. And nothing whatsoever should distract us or weaken us. The fact that we are Muslims. It should be the opposite. We should be proud of it. But the only way to be proud and say, وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, and he says, I'm proud of being a Muslim. I'm proud of belonging to this great religion. Words are not enough. We have to show a good example. We have to show a great role model. As wherever I am, a father, a husband, a mother, a wife, a child, a son, a daughter, a sister, a brother, a member of community, a citizen, a member of a team, anything I am, I have to show that example. So when Fox News or whatever news says so and so that is so wrong, so untrue about Muslims and Islam, people are going to say, that's just news. That's just the media. I know such and such sister. I know such and such brother. I know such my friend at school, my friend at work, my friend, my neighbor. I know I have a Muslim neighbor. This is not true. These people are lying. I know these Muslims, they're good people. Look, I know how they behave with their children, with their spouses. This person, I know him at work is so committed, so active at work, does not cheat, does not lie. He is so successful. She is so successful. They show a good example. Not the opposite. Oh, this is a non-Muslim country. You can just lie. It's okay. These are kuffar. It's okay to cheat. It's not okay. That's the opposite of this verse. That's not how people accepted Islam, including my forefathers and your forefathers, because of those first generation of Muslims who showed a great model. They showed it in their lives. You see this Indonesia and all of these great and big countries, how did they accept Islam? Because of that character, that behavior of those Muslim traders when they went there. That's how they accepted Islam. So that's number one. Guide to God, first guide myself to God. And show a great example and display Islam not only by words, but by deeds and by good behavior. The second one is to guide other people to Islam. To guide others to God. And to show them, to help them understand. To help them see the right picture of Islam. And to give them the support they need and to be so patient. There's a lot of garbage about Islam. I'm sorry to say this word, but it's true. A lot of untrue messages about Islam. And we have a lot of work to do. To undo what is in the minds of people, and we have to understand it. When people have a bad image about Islam, a wrong understanding about Islam, who to blame? First, if liars are lying about Islam, don't blame them. They're just doing their job. A liar who lies, you want to blame a liar who lies? A liar lies. Nothing to blame. Shaitan says it in the Quran. Don't blame me. Shaitan does shaitanic stuff. Don't blame Shaitan. But if we do not do our job, we should blame ourselves. So if we continue, and the good news is we are on that path. I'm here to tell you that we are, alhamdulillah. Muslims are growing in numbers, and alhamdulillah, the quantity is going up and the quality also is going up. But we have to work more on the quality part. We still have to work more on that quality part of our behaviors and deeds and actions and words. So I have to blame myself. Because if I blame myself, that's going to push me and force me and remind me that I still have to work even harder to make it happen and to build that good reputation about Islam. No one can defeat Islam. ever. It's the message of Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala says it, that He is going to protect it. We just have to show the good image of Islam and help people. At least if they don't embrace Islam, they are friendly with Islam. Guide to God. This is the mission of NAFIS. This is why NAFIS has been founded and created and established. Guide to God. And it doesn't say guide to Islam. It says guide to God. Islam means, it's a religion, it's the name of the deen that Allah Ta'ala has chosen for us. We don't connect people with books, with names. We connect people with their Lord, with their Creator. That says guide to God. We want to connect ourselves with Allah Ta'ala and connect people with God. Help them to be bonded with their Lord. Because once you are and they are bonded with Allah Ta'ala, that is the most successful mission you can do. Think of this, just think for a moment. And then I'll move to the last part. Just think of this. Out of every single thing you do every day, every time you wake up, every day you wake up, you're doing something. Think, is there anything there that is more honorable, better, greater, most beloved to your Lord than guiding yourself and people to your Lord? Nothing. Why? Because the mission of guiding to God is the mission of the messengers and the prophets. And the messengers and the prophets only do the best of the best. They only work on the greatest of missions. Now you might ask, well, does that mean that everything else I'm doing is not good? It's not important? It's not beneficial? No, and this is the good news. The good news is, if my intent behind doing everything I do every day is to guide myself and guide other people to my Lord and to their Lord, the one and only one, then everything that you do every day will serve that great mission. And nothing goes to waste. And everything is in your good deeds. So when you're so kind to your spouse, when you're so careful and caring about your children, that's part of guiding to God. That's part of fulfilling the mission of the prophets and the messengers. How the messengers was so soft, so nice to his spouses, to his wives, to his children, to all people. Not only people, to the whole planet, to the whole creation. Now I want to end with the key question, which is how? What is the most successful way of making da'wah, of guiding to God, guiding myself and guiding other people to God? And let me start with a question, just a little thing. When you do your salah, or read Quran, or memorize Quran, that is a form of guiding yourself to Allah Ta'ala, and you're making a positive change of yourself. And that's good. And that's great. But the question is, how much of a change we want to make? And what change we want to make? And that change is going to apply to what and to who? If I want to change myself, I can try, but I'm not going to go that far. Because the Prophet Muhammad said very clearly that a mu'min, a believer, is weak by himself, strong by his brothers and sisters, by the group, being in a group, in a jama'ah. And how much of a change you can make to the policies of the US, because of which a lot of people are oppressed and murdered and killed, and countries are affected. By yourself, just being a Muslim was so content. I'm going to the masjid, alhamdulillah. I'm doing my salah, I'm reading my Quran, and I know what the 5 pillars are. Why should I care? Why should I join an organization? Well, because there's no way we can make a change, a real change, have an impact on the policies that come from Congress if we are not together as a strong organization. The Prophet ﷺ, that's how he, with the companions, were able to change the planet Earth. Planet Earth. The whole world. From that time until the last day of this world. And because of them, we are now Muslims. It's a simple formula. We need to understand this. If you really care about Islam being promoted, if you really care about not only Muslims, but all of those oppressed people who are not Muslims, whether they are in the US or outside the US, this is not any country. The US is not any country. The US has a lot of power, a lot of money. We have a great responsibility as Americans to make a difference. And there is no way we can make a difference by being just everyone by her, by himself. And saying, I'm just a Muslim. Why are you asking me to join a jama'ah? I'm not asking you to join a jama'ah. It's not me who's asking you to do this. It's your Prophet ﷺ who's telling you to do this. عليكم بالجماعة. Join a jama'ah. Join an organization. من أراد بحبوحة الجنة فعليه بالجماعة. أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. Anyone who wants the Jannah, he needs or she needs to join a jama'ah, an organization. By ourselves, just alone, just individuals, we're not going to make a huge difference. The first thing Prophet ﷺ did when he migrated to Medina, the first thing he did was building the masjid and forming, strengthening that jama'ah. The very first thing before even migrating to Medina. Why are they called Sahaba? Because they had the suhbah, the companionship, the company of the Prophet ﷺ. They were one body, one organization. Organization. An organization is a body of organs. It's like a body of organs. Imagine your hand is by itself, and your heart is by itself, and your head is somewhere else. Can you survive? Can you make a huge difference? You can't. But you are one body with organs, an organization, organs that are supporting of each other, that they can make a difference. So what is the action plan? What is the thing that we want to learn out of this? Besides all of these things we just heard. If I really want to follow fully and successfully the sunnah of my messenger, the messenger Muhammad ﷺ, I need to join an organization and help make the difference and the change that we need to make as Muslims. And what's the best way to do this? Wake up at night before Fajr prayer. The best time to beg and supplicate your Lord and ask, oh my Lord, who to join? Who should I accompany? Who should I befriend? Where can I learn my deen? Who should I seek knowledge from and deen from and help from? And know for sure, if you have yaqeen and certainty and trust in your Lord, know for sure Allah Ta'ala will guide you, because He is the guide. He is the guide. He subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to guide you to the best organization you can be. And then tomorrow, or maybe tonight, very soon, when you meet the Prophet ﷺ, when you pass away and you meet your Lord, at least you did what you should have done. And you joined an organization that made a difference. a positive change in this great country, the United States of America. May Allah Ta'ala help us. May Allah Ta'ala give us the support and the guidance and the love of each other. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala guide us to Him Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wal 'asr. Innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa 'amilus salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa ikhwanihi wa hizbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wa jazakumullahu khairan wa jazakumullahu khairan.